Yo, what's up? You're off in God's country with your boys, Reed and Dan. Also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the outdoors. Two things that go together like...
Man, we're going the whole time.
I know. I didn't know
you were going the whole time.
Two things that go together like preacher's kids and rat tails. Gotta listen to know what that one means.
Or bluegrass in West Virginia, brought to you by MeatEater.
And hit it, Ray.
Hit it, Ray.
And
Or fade in, Ray.
Tacoma still sponsoring the show, man, baby. Tacoma still sponsoring the show now, baby. Got a new light hanging up that's looking pretty neat.
Almost as slick as these lesbians on my feet, cause Tacoma's sponsoring the show now, baby.
Look at those shining in the new Tacoma's neon light.
Shining in the neon.
Tacoma's cowboy boots might be a little crooked because I got to get a drywall anchor in that top left one.
We'll tighten it up. Calm down. John Morgan. Man, one of the coolest Nashville stories that you're going to hear. Straight up Nashville. Got a phone call from somebody. You're going to listen to that. Yep.
It's awesome. It's got the #1 song in country radio right now as an artist.
Got the #1 mustache in country radio, too.
There's a couple good ones out there.
I think he beats Riley.
Okay.
Because that was like all natural.
Yeah, been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Great stories, great dude, interesting cat. Yeah, man. We didn't know him, know of him. It's kind of that thing where
We definitely know of him. We
sure,
just hadn't
and he
met
knew
him.
of us, but it's one of those things where he sits down, you say what's up, and you're immediate buddies, and
Yeah.
that's how it went.
Respect the journey, respect the grind. Great songwriter, good singer, great guitar player, great singer, not just good, it's great.
Debut
Great.
album,
That's
Carolina
great.
Blue, out right now. Go stream it. Go listen to it. Yeah, man, he's fun. You're gonna really enjoy it. Thank y'all for hanging out. Thanks for following us on Facebook. Thanks for following us on the TikTok and the gram. Keep on bringing those roast. Ray, you smell that? I think that means yes.
I wish
I
we
didn't even
had.
say to hit this
Okay,
dude
look,
anything.
I
He
don't-
just, when we say his name, he punches a
Just
button.
don't hit a random button. Do we have like a ding of when like the roast is ready? You know, like
Oh,
a
like
ding,
like a mama's
like a timer ding.
dinner bell.
I'm done. I'm not even asking.
That was more of a chime.
It's starting to annoy me. Because that's close, I guess. If you can pull up a ding, eventually hit it during my roast. So this comes from Rumeli. Crossroads of Great Potential and Epic Failure is the title of this. 5 stars. The guests are great. The host, ... akin to Dumb and Dumber. I would recommend this podcast to anyone solo hunting in grizzly country, if only to keep the bears away. At the end, that's pretty funny. At the end of the day, I do appreciate Reed and Dan pulling up their Tacoma boots and going hard after the things we love and care about. Keep digging for diamonds, boys. Appreciate you, Rumeli. 5 stars. Keep them coming. Love y'all.
Look what I just found on my shirt.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Well,
That's a bunny that my little girl stuck on me today, apparently.
I think this is 2 weeks after Easter, but happy Easter
belated
2 weeks
Easter.
ago.
Hey, we love y'all. We gotta go write songs. Check out John Morgan.
Killer.
Yeah.
Carolina Blue. Peace. See ya.
We got an artist in here. It's got the #1 country song on the radio.
Thank you. Yeah. It's pretty wild,
That's
man.
big time. That's big time. Jay, do you care to shut? Would you mind shutting that door? I'm sorry. We're
Yeah.
real professional asking our guests to do things around here.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Hey, man, we've got Daddin' of 3, #1 songwriting, including ACM's 2022 Single of the Year with Jason Aldean and Carrie Underwood, piano ballad. If I didn't love you, I'd be... What's the words?
Goodbye now. Yeah.
Goodbye now, yeah.
You got it.
That's a
You
good
got it. Just need the melody, man. That's it.
Yeah, I got you. Helen from the state of North Carolina, going to raise up. Mustache owning, my bad. Currently has the #1 song as an artist at the radio with friends like that. We've got Mr. John Morgan out in God's country.
What's up?
Hey,
Thanks for having me.
dude, thanks for coming in, man, on this beautiful Nashville day.
Dreary out there, man. A little dreary.
Dreary outdoors out there, man.
Yeah, a little rough out there.
It's Mark Drury out there.
Very dreary.
Which way do you come into town? I heard you say 24 earlier.
Yeah, I'm out in Jolton, so
Okay.
yeah, 24, man.
It's fun.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
You hit that right window. It's usually not bad, but this was not fun this morning.
65 North is always hit.
Yeah.
It's always hit. Which one's the bad? Hit or miss?
Miss.
It's always miss. It's always miss.
I had to think for a second.
I feel like it was pretty nice this morning, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
usually, yeah. I mean, it took me 40 minutes to get here,
I got jammed up twice.
and I got gas. I'm
You
gonna
did,
tell you, I'm
dude?
gonna tell you the truth though. I walked in. We got this little gas station we always hit on the way in, and I've been trying to clean it up lately.
Yeah.
You know. And I had a biscuit, and it's probably been since a legit full biscuit. It's probably been 9 months.
Bro, that pork loin is mean, dog.
It was hitting in there. They had a full rack, like the biscuit rack, maxed out. Anything you wanted.
Do they have like a hot and ready sign?
Yeah, it's like a pizza. It's like like one of them like pizza oven things, like warmer things, and they just got biscuits. I bet they got.
Man.
I was in the other day and I got a biscuit, and you could tell some like it's right by my house too, and we're 35 minutes south of town, right below Franklin Thompson Station, Spring Hill area. And so it's pretty country out there, and you could tell this dude brand new Bronco rolled in and jumped out with the kids, and he ran in and he had on a tank top, and I was like, oh, this guy might, So he comes in and he's like,
this guy might what? What are you talking about?
Might not be from around. Like he didn't look like he was from around there.
Oh, okay.
And he ran in and there was like 2 biscuits left. It was like 9:45, and he was like, y'all got any more biscuits in the back? She was like, no, honey, that's it. We put them out and people come get them. And he was like, oh, he's like, I just, he's like, didn't know you got rid of them so fast. She was like, we're on farm time around here, son. she was like, this ain't city time. Yeah. She was like, them farmers come in and get them quick. And it's true. If you if you try to go get a biscuit after 10 o'clock, ain't happening.
Yeah.
No, it ain't happening. But it was smelling. They must have just delivered them something, dude. It was.
Oh, they're mean.
They're hard to beat.
And I turned around and I even felt like my brain go, hey, man, go and get you one.
What's the matter, man?
It's been 9 months, bro.
Yeah, good
Eat
for
a biscuit,
you,
dude.
Celebrate.
And then,
did you?
I didn't.
You didn't.
I walked outside and I ate that banana as fast as I possibly could and drank that protein shake
Thinking about that,
fast, dude.
Trying to make that banana taste like that pork loin.
But I was in there sniffing. I was in there.
That's a rough spot.
I was
right there.
sniffing, going. I was trying to get as much of it in my body as I could.
Dude, places like that, you don't have to like sniff too hard, man. There's a certain aura. I grew up on that stuff, man. Gas station biscuits. My uncle's on the tire shop back home, and I would eat there every morning. You just swing through. They had the Hunt's Brothers hunk of pizzas.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all had that. Ooh, it'll it'll take me back, man. It's good stuff.
It'll take me back to the restroom.
Right.
Now that I'm
few times.
41 years
100%,
old.
yeah.
Those days are over, man. I liked those days, and they were great days.
Yeah.
It's a thing of the past for me, man.
Good for you, man.
I just can't do it anymore. I mean, like, I think my body's like, hey, man, we've had enough. Like, you, like, whatever your tank is of like gas station chicken strips, hot wings, fish, occasionally, and pizza, it's like, you're full.
Yeah. I get that, man.
Yeah, I'll sting one every now and then. Just to get a little pinch, just that little taste, dude, that little itch, man, scratch it.
Oh man! Speaking of,
go for it.
I hopped in my truck this morning. This just cracked me up because I quit. I dipped for a long time since I was like 16, or you know how it is. Just, and I hop in my truck this morning, and I've been in my truck for a year, and I was like looking for something. I reached up top, pulled out a brand new unopened can of Skull Wintergreen.
That's the devil, dog. That's
I was
the
like,
devil.
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's come on. Though.
What'd you do?
I put it right back where it was.
Good for
I
you.
did.
You didn't throw it out the window?
We'll see how I do on the way home.
See how the co-write goes.
See how the day goes. We'll figure it out.
Who I'm right with. If I'm right with Hayslip, I'm dipping.
Ain't no doubt.
You right with him a good bit?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, we love that guy. We just wrote with him last week.
Yeah,
he's a great
trip,
guy,
man.
man.
Yeah,
He's been on here before.
Yeah, he's fun. Baseball guy. Whew.
Yeah, dude. His boys are
Rocking.
studs, man.
No doubt.
I love following him, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
Dingers, too, man.
I know.
Dingers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
for
posted-
Bama.
Right.
No, he's out. He's not at Bama anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's-
Yeah.
UAB or some other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, good for
Southern
him.
Georgia Southern.
Good for him. Hey, before we get into that, congrats on the new addition to the fam.
Yeah, thanks, man.
How? What do you got? You got 3 kids now.
3.
Boy, girl, boy. What you got?
Girl, boy, girl.
Girl, boy, girl.
Yeah. It's been awesome, man. I love being a dad.
Same.
I didn't see my career happening this way with like having a family already established and all that, but thank God.
Yeah, man.
Honestly,
Ooh, no doubt.
it's been a really good, I don't know, driving force for me, I guess, and still like staying out on the road because I have something,
Yeah.
to do it for,
No
right?
doubt.
Like a bigger purpose. So it's cool, man. I love doing it. I love getting to be home for a couple days and hang out with them, make up for lost time. It's fun, but the beautiful thing of where I'm at right now, I'm super. I don't know if this falls into your. What's the what you mad at? Yeah, I don't know if it falls into that, but it's the opposite. I'm so thankful I get to do this, man. I've been, I did chase music for a long time. I was in the bluegrass world for like 10 years, and started traveling when I was like 11. We're playing 150 shows a year in middle school.
Jeez.
And so it's been, I've been after it a long time, not necessarily in Nashville, but
That's wild.
it's been cool, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I saw a meme or something the other day that Chapel Roan was saying.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know. Did I say that right?
Is it Chappelle?
Chaparral.
That would have been my first
It's
guess.
Chaparral. Chaparral. That's it.
I saw her say
Not
that.
the
Like,
boat.
she's like, "Why would I want to have kids? All my friends that I know who have kids are miserable." And a lot of people were kind of replying to that. And yesterday, I was mowing the yard. My kids are really into 4-wheelers right now. I got a 5, 2, and 8 month. So my girl, boy. So we recently got her a little 4-wheeler. I got a motor 4-wheeler, and we got my son a 24-volt little 4-wheeler. And I was on the zero turn, and I was cutting like lanes, and I was watching them. They were riding through the lane. So I would cut an outside lane, and they'd take off on their little 4-wheelers and ride around while I'm on the zero turn. And I was like, man, I wish I could bring Chapel Roan and put her on my zero turn right now and just let her see and experience like what I'm experiencing right now. Because I'm going to tell you something.
Dude.
Like, there was a joy in that. And it was nothing, right? It was nothing. It was me cutting the grass. But there was a joy in that. I was like, this would change your mind.
Yeah.
Like this 5 minutes of watching them laughing and throw their head back in the sunshine while the wind's blowing their curly hair around in those cut lanes. Dude,
It's the best.
I'm just here to tell you, man, it deepens the well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It deepens the well.
There's some 5-minute moments that would probably not change her mind.
Oh, there's some 6-hour
It
beach
does go
trips.
both ways.
There's some 6-hour beach trips that would definitely drive them.
Also, I'd love to see
But-
somebody like that on a zero turn.
But you can't tell me. But you can't tell me that the good don't outweigh the bad on that stuff.
No.
Ain't even close.
A million%. Dude.
Yeah. No, you're dead on, man. It's it amazes me how, like, I don't know how else to say it, but simply minded children are. Like, they just like they'll notice stars. I don't even remember the last time I like looked up and was like, oh yeah, there's stars up there.
Come on, look at that right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Come
on.
Yeah, it's just like they're so oblivious to all the bad in the world.
It's that
cool,
childlike
man.
faith, man. It's that innocence of not seeing behind. They hadn't seen behind any curtains in their life.
Dude.
They're looking at everything fresh
Crazy.
uh,
eyes.
That's crazy. You said that. We were at Reed's last night. And we left, and my daughter said, "Oh, look, my star's following me." And I was like, "What?" Because they're usually in bed,
Yeah.
And we were on the way home from Reed's from Easter, and Boone said, "Yeah, my stars follow me." And they were just, I mean, like you said,
That's
they
awesome.
literally noticed the stars, man.
Yeah.
When's the last time you looked up and went, "Oh, there's the star there"?
Yeah, we're just so busy and doing our own thing. It's like you forget sometimes, like to slow down. There's I love kids, man. I've got a 3-year-old, almost 2-year-old, and a month-old, maybe. I don't know.
How are you here? How are you alive?
I don't know, man.
You must be sleeping a lot these days.
Yeah, a ton.
Let me ask you one more kid question, then we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So I've got girl boy right now. Same thing. Mine will be, my first one will be 3 in May. My boy will be 2 in September. And everybody, August. Sorry, why do I always say September? My bad. Okay.
I got them all mixed up too. Man.
You were close.
Listen.
So you said you got girl, boy, girl. When people ask me, they're like, "If you have another one, what do you want?" I'm like, "Boy, man, boy," because my little girl is my angel, and I can't imagine having another one. Honestly, man, I can't imagine having another girl and split. Not that you split, and I know it'd be perfect either way, and I'm sure it is.
Right.
But
they require a little more.
What was that like for you having another girl?
I mean, you're right. They require more attention.
Yeah.
You know, at least right now.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I thought the same thing, dude. When we found out it was another girl, I was just like, oh no, dude. Like, there's no way. Like, Willie's the same because Willie's my first too. So like, there's that connection. Also, she's like the one that made me a dad, right? And now I'm like, oh man, I gotta find something. So one of my mentors, Kevin Shrim, told me, he's like, man, he's like, when we found out, he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, there's a secret little door that God puts in your heart for that third child.
Hey, man.
He's like, it's there. You just wait.
I like that a whole lot. Man.
When you don't think that it is, really,
it's there, man. Yeah. But it's been fun. I you know, she's still a little, you know, vegetable right now. So, you know, it's just cute getting to hold her. You know, I don't know, man. Every time I'm home, like that's the fun part now is I'm able to go out and play shows on the weekend, and that's when I get to hang out with my boys. You know, like that's when we have fun, and we're still grinding and working. But you know, that's the fun part of it to me is we're able to do that and then come home for usually a couple days during the week and write in town and stuff. So I've been getting like the full circle, you know, part of it. So
yeah, it's full circle. That's full time right there.
Yeah,
for sure.
We like to do a little segment John called "What You Mad At?" Just tell us what it is. What you mad at? Is it your in-laws' kids? Might be your boss man or your neighbor's cat. Just tell us what you mad at.
That's the first 3 part we've had.
Man.
That's the first 3 part we've had.
That was mean. That was mean.
I thought I knew where it was going.
You did. You did.
You did good.
No.
You mad at anything?
Bluegrass guy. That's why he hit the
That's
third.
right.
You got. I mean,
it's just waiting there.
we don't have many hopping on that. I'll be honest.
I don't know, man.
You can be glad too.
I'm mad at airlines, and I'm mad at B&A, bro. I'm like, what's going on here? Okay,
They still working on everything.
Well, no, that we show up right, and they're like not busy. It's early morning flight, whatever. Like not a lot going on.
Sure.
That is when they're okay with you not taking everything out of your guitar case, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, go on through. It's when they're like maxed out of the, you know, out of the back doors
When you
with
need
lines.
to be, when, you know, let's
And
go.
that's when they're like, you know, they make you take everything out, like down to your picks. I'm like, bro.
Your picks.
Yeah, because, you know, we've been flying a lot, so I'm like packing. I have like clothes, computer in my, you know, my
Fly
road.
case, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just every time, dude. I'm like, what? How does that even happen, man? Like, what? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, why?
Have you got the Fast Pass, whatever that's called?
Yeah, I got pre-check.
Pre-check.
Yeah, and it's been nice.
Yeah, that
in
helps.
A few spots.
Yeah,
sometimes
I
it don't matter, but
sometimes it don't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I took a loaded 9mm into an airport before, so I can't get fast pre-check.
Yeah, he's out on
Already.
pre-check.
that'll do it. Yeah.
Will do
for
it.
a while.
You mad at anything?
Yeah,
I got a real short one.
lower back pain is what I'm mad at. I've never dealt with it until now, and we've been toting our kids around a whole lot. And
staring down 42.
Son, dude, my lower back is crushing.
I'm mad at like when you go to Walmart or Kroger, and there's the obvious like walkway thing. This goes 2 ways.
What do you mean walkway thing? Oh, like between the aisles and stuff?
No. When you're pulling your car in front of the building, there's like you stop to let people go across.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, like the main strip.
I really get mad when people stop me when I'm driving.
They give you the
petty.
hand.
That's
And they go-
petty stuff right there, dog.
I'm like,
They Heisman you right quick.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm stopping.
I get it.
I also hate when I'm that person
People don't stop.
and I'm going to walk across, and they go like,
They wave you on.
Tell you to move?
yeah. I'm like, I know. I'm about to walk. See the cross? I'm about to walk across. I don't need you to direct me to go. I'm going. You need to be the one that stops.
Sounds like a personal problem, dude. It sounds like deeper rooted.
I'm just telling
Somebody
you.
just waving you across.
Heads up. If I'm walking across the crosswalk, I'm not going to turn and thank you for allowing me to go because you're supposed to let me go.
Yeah.
And if I'm pulling up, I'm not stopping because you're putting your hand up. I'm stopping because I was stopping already.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that don't understand the term right of way.
A lot of
A
people
lot
don't
of people
get it,
don't
man.
understand that.
It's not a consideration.
Right.
It's an actuality. Like
Yeah.
you have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thanks,
that's a good
bro.
one.
Appreciate that. I've been holding that one for a couple weeks.
Sounds like
I
it.
can tell.
Yeah. Wow, okay, I'll calm down. Put this down.
Yeah. Hey man, where's like where it's not it's really not normal for us to get somebody in here that we do not know like at all.
Right.
Like I've never met, and you know, because the Ro's a small place, a small town, and in the middle of a big city, and you kind of know everybody. And it's one of those things where anytime we meet somebody that does what we do, it's always like you feel like you don't know each other, but you know each other. You know what I'm saying?
You might not know us, but we kind of know you.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
I know you guys for sure, man. I've been fans for a minute. It's like you said, it's funny how we haven't crossed paths.
Super
I mean,
funny. Yep.
yeah, there's a few people I've said the same thing to when we finally met. I'm like, dude, I don't know why it took us so long.
Yeah, no, it's like we're instant buddies.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally like years. Sometimes it takes
Yeah.
years. I mean, we've been in town 12, 15 years. How long you been?
Yeah.
How long you been in?
Going on 6 years
Gotcha.
now. Yeah.
Where's home? Like, where's home for you? Where'd you grow up?
Sylva, North Carolina. It's like probably 45 minutes west of Asheville.
Okay.
In that area
That's
from
close.
Smokies.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not far. It's probably 4.5, 5 hours from here.
Did y'all get hit with the storm, the big storm a couple months back? They get y'all?
Yeah, dude, it was wild because I was here and I was watching it and I knew it was going to be really close. I knew we were going to get a lot of rain,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if we were going to get directly hit. So I was watching it and literally at the last second, it went right around my hometown.
Oh, wow.
And went through Burnsville and all that. And dude, absolutely wiped Burnsville out.
Really?
Like, one of the guys in my camp on the road, he's from there, and he called me. We were going out to, I think we were going to Charleston like the day after it happened, and he called me. He's like, "Dude, I can't go this weekend, or it's gonna be tough because I got to go back home and get my mom out of her house." She was like surrounded by water, had no power, no running water for a couple days. So.
We heard so many stories like that from
How did he get?
awful.
Did he boat to her? How did he get to her?
No, I think him and his brother drove as far up as they could, and then they hiked the rest of the way.
Oh,
That's wild.
Yeah, it was wild. He sent me pictures and like videos of just like, vans like just crushed just by water. It's like
Seeing some of those towns in the valleys down there between just completely gone.
Yeah.
And you just see the foundation and mud.
Yeah.
You
like
know,
roads, like infrastructure, the entire thing, just like you took your hand and just went.
That
just
water
it away.
going downhill is a powerful force, especially when there's a lot of it.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
understand it really until Zach Massey gave us that he talked to us about it on here, and he said basically, imagine like a tidal wave coming through, except it's coming at like 60 miles an hour.
right.
Like the force behind, because it was coming downhill when that dam broke. It was coming downhill, and it just crushed everything.
smashed.
Can't nothing hold that, dude.
Yeah.
No,
Water's a dangerous thing, man. Well, are they getting back on their feet? Everything is it?
I think so,
good?
man. It's people there. It's like they take care of their own. There was a lot of I don't want to say like false information. It just wasn't getting talked about.
Yeah,
and enough. I don't think. I know that Church and Luke and those guys did that huge fundraiser.
Yeah.
Did a lot, but like immediately it wasn't like there wasn't a ton of like awareness about it. I don't think like how bad it actually was.
Right.
And so it took a minute, but I had guys on the road tell me that one of my buddies has a trucking company, and he was like, "Man, we're trying to get in there. we had like 8 semis full of supplies that we were trying to get in there. And FEMA was turning them away because they didn't have the right permit to be crossing over. So you hear stuff like that and you're like, what? Like, you know what I mean?
Don't make sense.
And he was on the ground, like he was there.
Ready to go.
He made several trips and that was just like one of the first ones. He's like, dude, we literally just rerouted. We just, because the roads were all messed up anyway. He was like, we just found another way.
Yeah, another way, yeah.
Yeah, it was like they were turning people away and yeah, they had like, they were dropping supplies, right? And then they had nowhere to store these supplies. So all the supplies were just out in the weather and like.
It's going bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was just weird stuff, but I won't get into all that.
No,
It's just,
something you can't prepare for. You just figure it out and try to get through it.
Well, you never expect something like that to go through that area too, right?
Right.
Like that was the crazy thing to me was like no one there has flood insurance or anything like that, you know.
Why would you?
Yeah. So it was wild, man. But I think they're back on their feet, and I came through Hot Springs not too long ago, about a month ago, and 40's still shut down, but I think half of it's open back up now. But I went through Hot Springs and yeah, it was like flooring outside of everybody's houses. You know, they just had to rip the whole floor out. It was just crazy. It was like you were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
what was your outdoor experience growing up? Like, did you hunt? Did you fish?
Yeah.
Did you say are you in the mountains?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
that's a little different. That's
man.
Mountain hunting's pretty different.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. We didn't have, there's a few deer around me, but I didn't get into like whitetail until really like I was late in high school, man. Really? I was like I said, I was always playing music. Every weekend we were gone, you know, and playing all these festivals, and then I played ball, you know, when I was during the week, went to school and played ball and did all that. So I stayed busy. But
how did you have time to play 100 dates a year if you're playing ball?
Dude, it was just back and forth,
That's
man.
Nuts.
Yeah, it really was. Looking back on it, I'm like, I don't know how we did that, but
are you playing that many dates now?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I probably will this year. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was wild, man. You know, we were always on the road. So I got into bow hunting, you know, pretty heavily about 3-4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And cause
it's addicting, isn't it?
Oh dude, I love it. One of my friends I met on the road, he sent me a brand new Phase 4 and I haven't got it set up yet, but, I've been shooting my buddies. I bought my buddy's dad's old Bowtech, and I just have that thing dialed in, you know. And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to go sit in the stand if I don't know what I'm shooting. Sure. You know, I know I can put this one in a small group, so it's a lot of fun, man.
How far do you feel like how? Okay, what's max distance for you that you feel confident in shooting? Confident.
Oh man, I mean, I've slung on it. It's probably about 60.
Ooh, but 60 slinger.
But that I've hit 60, you know, just target shooting. Yeah. But dude,
it's a different thing when there's a buck or a doe, whatever, totally deer standing in front of you.
Yeah, I was probably 6 feet off. Like it was bad. I had a glow tip on it too because it was late. It was getting late. I was hunting up in Minnesota last year, and this massive doe comes out right before it was getting dark. And it was about 60 yards, and she was coming across the ridge on me, and I was like, I'm going to try, man. I'm tired of sitting out here. So I flung one, and sure enough, it got buried in the cornfield. Never found it. I had a glow tip on it. I'm like, how am I not seeing this in the snow, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But it was wild.
Yeah.
Well, I was sitting around the fire the other day, and Jordan was out walking in the backyard, and kids riding their little four-wheelers around and hanging out, and Jordan came up. She goes, look what I found. And it was a Maxima Red. And it was like about probably 3 years ago that I shot it and missed the target and lost it. Yeah,
they're hard to find. They're hard to
wild.
find. Once you let them go, they're hard to find.
Yeah.
What do you? So you said you're on the road a lot. What do you do out on the road to like? You look. I mean, you sound like an outdoorsman. How do you do that out on the road? How do you scratch that itch out there?
I don't get to a lot, man. Really? Yeah, that's one of the hard things about the road. You know, I grew up like, even though I wasn't like, I did a lot of small game hunting. Yeah. Most of my buddies back home ran dogs. They either ran coon dogs or they were bear hunters, you know. And
Really,
so,
bear hunting in the mountains?
yeah, man. Yeah, they run dogs, and I never got into it, but I was always hanging around those guys and watching how they worked them, and it was a lot of fun. But I don't know, man. I got a small squirrel hunted and turkey hunted and did all that, but honestly, I fished a lot more than I hunted. I love stream fishing, and
Come on.
we up in the mountains. There's the Tuckasegee River runs through my hometown, and it's like a really popular place for fly fishing. A lot of fly fishermen come through there. So I never got into that. I've always just open reeled, and I just love doing that, man. Just walking up and putting your waders on, walking up the creek and fishing. But I don't know, man. I do love whitetail now, man. I've got the buck. I haven't killed a buck yet with a bow, so I'm trying to check that one off.
That was my first deer I shot with my. That was the first buck I shot with my bow in Illinois, and I've been bow hunting for close to probably 5, 6, 7 years before ever even getting. Dude, it's hard, man. Deer. It's hard getting them big deer. Close to your stand. It's real hard. And then it's hard executing the shot with a bow. Yeah,
it's hard. I mean, when I feel like when a whitetail goes from 3 to 4, this like mega jump happens in their maturity to where it's like they just change into a different animal. It's almost like you're hunting a different animal. And if you're trying to kill that or hunt that quality of an animal, like you're going to have to work at it. You got to put some time in, you know? And you go shoot a little 6-point or something and get your feet wet if you want. And then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that jump from 3 to 4 that's a different animal, man.
Yeah. We're the same way, man. We're 2 weeks into turkey season now, and we've had a heck. I hope everybody's turkey season is going as good as ours is. We've had a heck of a season.
That's awesome, man.
But my turkey tank is this compared to my deer tank. I wish it was November 15th every day of the year, and I was sitting in Kansas in a just bow hunt. But I will say, man, you talk about stream fishing, like it's hard to beat ripping smallies and brown trout out of a little creek with a spinning reel, man. And
I'm pretty sure I put Tuckasegee in a song. I didn't know.
Really?
I didn't know that river. But somebody from, it might have been Luke, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
is he up there close? Is Asheville close to the Tuckasegee? Is that close?
Yeah,
that's a cool name for a river.
Tuckasegee,
isn't that cool?
Yeah, great name.
Elk River,
call it the Tuck
and all that up there.
Yeah.
You call it the Tuck?
That's what my touring company is. Tuck River Touring.
That's nasty.
That was the only one that was available. I tried 800 more. I'm like, how does everyone? There's no way all these are taken.
So it's like doing BMI names. It's like you're trying to get.
Yeah, what's your BMI name?
Man, I got a few. I think it's Racks and Plaques right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Wow, that's
phenomenal.
That's good.
Thanks, man.
That's good.
I was sitting with Lindsey Rhymes, who's an Australian songwriter here in town. And he was trying to come up with a name. And I said, dude, you know what you need to do? And he was like, what? And I was like, Koala T Tunes. Quality Tunes.
Wow.
He's from Australia. Yeah.
He was like, oh my God.
Oh my
God. Yeah. And so he changed it to, and so we were at the BMIs and he got an award for number 1.
Quality
and they were like, Lindsey Rhymes with Quality Tunes. And I was like,
hey, that's me. Yeah. That's funny, man.
So he never hunted or anything like that. He'd be funny to get on the show just because he has no idea about any of it. Like no idea about this stuff.
True.
It was the first time we were at Sony. We were so broke at the time. We had to I would literally bring in whatever my dad cooked.
Yeah.
From the weekend, and eat on it all week. So I had these little medallions where we had taken a whitetail tenderloin and cut it into medallions and grilled them. And so
it's almost like a little fillet, like a little whitetail fillet.
So when I pulled that little baggie out, I had a right, and I ran in there to get some lunch real quick, and I grabbed that baggie out, and he had come in behind me. I didn't know it. And so when I pulled it out, they're like little rounds. He goes, oh, cookies. And I was like, no, man.
He's like, yeah, go get your bite.
I was like, he goes, what is it? And I said, this is deer tenderloin. This is like meat. I I said, actually, man, it's really great. Would you like to try one? He goes, oh no, I like my I like my meat from the store. I was like, all right, man. Well, this is not from the store, bud.
No, not a chance.
Good dude, though. Good dude. Shout out Lindsey Rhymes.
Hey, what's something from your childhood, like growing up in the outdoors, that you wish to pass on to your little ones?
That's a good question, man. I mean, I think it's honestly, I think just a great time to spend with somebody. You know, if you got somebody, I personally, when I'm bow hunting, I like being by myself.
Yes, same.
I don't want, like I like that time, especially now, because that's, you know,
especially now.
Yeah, especially now, for all the reasons. But it's just fun, you know, being out in the woods. Especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere too, like that's my favorite. That's what I loved about back home. There were those spots where like you can go out and not hear nothing, you know, like you're just hearing, you know, wildlife and whatever's going on in the woods. Yeah. And I just loved that environment. So I was always in the woods doing something. But I don't know, man. That's a good question. I feel like one kind of niche thing that we did growing up is a different kind of hunting, but it's called ginseng hunting. Have you ever heard ginseng?
I've heard about it. Yeah, never been, but I heard about it.
Yeah, that was something that me and my dad did a lot because we were he was always working, right? And so when I started working for him, we would always be up in these really like wooded areas.
What did he do? Sorry, I don't.
Sorry, he was a property manager.
Oh, gotcha.
Had his own property management business for a long time, and we'd be out on a job somewhere, and we would just walk out in the woods and look for ginseng. And you know, back in the day, you could take it in and make $1,000 a year probably if you just you know, if you kept the roots. Sometimes they wanted them dry. Sometimes they liked them wet.
You dig it, right? How do you dig it? How do you dig it?
Well, there's a season for it. It's basically an herb that gets used in like a lot of energy drinks. Ginseng's in there. It's really good for your energy. And they're saying there's a lot of other health benefits of it now. But yeah, you could take it down, and there were buyers, at least in my hometown. I don't know if they were legit, and I don't know who they were selling it to, but
but we were making that paper.
Yeah, but I made a little cash every year. I don't know, man. That's one thing, like one type of hunting, I guess, that I would like to pass down.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah, man.
Because it's kind of, you know, it's native to Western North Carolina, and I don't know, it's fun too.
They do it here. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you do it or where you do it, but I mean, I've ran into people like ginseng hunting on some of our properties, just being like, "Hey man, what are you doing? Oh man, just looking for." In that case, you're like, "Okay, well, dig it," because we're not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Is there like a certain like morels? It's like, what is it, like around like wetted areas?
I mean, there's so much
old trees, old dead tree stuff. There's like, is there a certain like
it's a plant? I mean, you can see the top of it, right?
Are you looking for in a certain area?
Yeah, so it's an herb, and it likes really damp, like wet areas. Okay. So like if you get back in a holler somewhere, like, you know, it's where there's a lot of moss and it's just really shaded, you're probably walking on it. You know what I mean? Cool. And the other thing, it looks just like poison ivy. It's got the same leaves, but the way you tell it apart is that it has these little berries that get they turn red when it's seasoned, and the leaves will wilt to like a yellow color. So they kind of stick out when it's the right time of year. But you can spot them, you know, in the woods if you know what you're looking for.
So you dry the root? You dig it out and dry the root?
You know, it depends. Like there were some years where they wanted it dry, so you know, just leave it out and let it air dry for however long it needs. And like I said, we would just dig a little bit, you know, every day, and by the end of it, we'd have a pound each, you know, or whatever, and go turn it in. But yeah, sometimes they wanted it wet, sometimes they wanted it all dried out. It just depended on what they were doing that year.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reason to get poison ivy all over you. Yeah. For a little amount of money.
That would be my fault. Like, this is some.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, it's just funny because back you get shot digging somebody's ginseng up back home.
No
That's
shit.
wild,
Yeah.
man.
That's funny when you said that. I'm like,
Are we stepping on?
yeah, yeah.
So how do you get ground to ginseng hunt? Do you ask, or do you just kind of just hunt your own ground? That's it.
You can. I mean, some people don't care, right? Like they're kind of like that too. They're like, I'm not gonna dig it, so you might as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, my papa planted a bunch around my childhood home, and so we were always like trying to protect it. Kind of
Interesting.
a little hidey spot up there.
Yeah, man. Any drama ever go down with somebody trying to dig somebody else's? Anybody ever get shot or anything?
No, not that I know about.
For a couple $100.
Yeah. No, I don't think anybody has, at least none of my relatives. So, yeah, who knows, man? There's always something going on back home. I loved growing up in North Carolina, man. It was a lot of fun. It was just very laid back. I grew up in the same house my mom grew up in,
Wow,
so, it's very deeply rooted there, and, got a lot of family still there. So
You ever think about going back?
yeah, I do.
Like moving back?
Yeah. I don't know if I could do it full time now with what I do, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a spot back there that, you could go. I love fall time there, man. It's like the best time of year. So it'd be nice if we had a weekend off to go back for a few days.
Yeah, you're not at the point, right? You don't get that for a while, buddy.
No, I know. I'm dreaming.
But save up for when it is time.
Dreaming on the mountaintop, though, man. I
Yeah.
mean, here we are. What'd you say? 6-7 years in,
Yeah, about 6 years.
dude. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
awesome.
So you started playing piano. I saw you had some piano lessons as a kid or something. How'd that go?
Not as well as I hoped they would. I love playing piano now. I just chord, like I didn't learn anything, but I hated it at the time. It was like just a bear, and so I was like, I'm gonna try fiddle, and then that was god awful, dude. The fiddle was like even worse.
It's a tough instrument.
Yeah, it was rough. And then I finally found guitar and stuck with that. So it's fun. Bluegrass was cool too, because you got to learn how to play multiple instruments. Most people do, just from jamming and hanging out. And so it's fun. I like playing bass and mandolin and stuff too. It's fun to do that every once in a while on a demo or something.
Who was your band? Like, as far as your first little bluegrass band, who played in it? Was it all family or buddies or what?
Yeah, the first one I was in was
You got to tell the name of the band. You got to.
Mountain Faith Bluegrass Band.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Solid bluegrass name.
MFBB, man. Yeah.
If I would have gave you 3 guesses, you would have put Mountain in there somewhere. No, it was fun, man. Cousin band, and then my uncle was like our band leader. He drove us around.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's crazy, man.
Like churches, festivals, what?
Anywhere, bro.
Anywhere, man.
Yeah, anywhere anybody would take us.
What's the weirdest place you ever played?
Uh,
I always think my band, we played this thing. Have I told this before? We played this thing for who's the guy from Sweet Home Alabama, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
It was like one of his like
Van Zandt.
yeah, it was one of his like cousin or something. It was like a name you haven't ever heard, like Ricky Van Zandt or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Ron. It was kind of an off thing, and we went and played this gig, and they were like the head. We opened for them, of course, and they were the headliner. Well, the guy had already like assured us payment, and then nobody got real cold. It was weird. It was like summer, and it got super cold, and nobody came to the show, obviously, because nobody knew us, and they definitely didn't know Ricky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the guy was like, well, you're going to pay me. I'm a Van Zandt. You finna pay me.
Yeah.
He brought us all in the end. He was like, guys, I don't have any money. Basically, he was just saying, like, nobody showed up to this festival. I know. And he's like, I don't have any money. And we were like, okay, well, how much beer you got left? You know? And they were like, well, we got a couple cases.
We'll
We're
figure
like,
something
okay, we're
out.
cool. Just send us with that. Well, Ricky wasn't having it, bro. He was like, what have you got? And he was like, I mean, all I got to my name is this Harley. And he was like, well, where are the keys? And he's like, right here. And he's like, drove back to Nashville, baby. Took
Are
the
you
dudes. I
serious?
watched it go
Who
down.
took it?
Ricky or whatever the guy's name was. Yeah, it was pretty tough.
See you later.
Pretty tough. He got his. We never got paid.
That's
that.
cold, man.
Yeah, it was cold blooded, dude. But anyway, that was a terrible place to play. If you got anything stick out in your head as like the worst place you ever played, or the most random place you ever played?
Yeah, I don't. Places kind of sometimes like venues run together sometimes.
Definitely do. Yeah, I just didn't know if anything.
I just have
out.
like stories. Like I remember places from stories. Like we, well, one of the funny early ones was you'll like this one. We played this. We were playing a church. I can't remember where we were. Somewhere in North Carolina, and we were playing this church, man, and I'm not making this up, man. I swear I'm not.
Okay.
We're in the middle of
I
our
trust
set.
you. I believe you already.
we're in the middle of our set. We're playing, right, and the pastor came up, like, kind of. I don't know if it was planned. Before, I didn't know it was planned, right? And he comes up and is like, all right, we're going to take a brief intermission here, and we'll be back in 10, 15 minutes and we'll finish up the concert. So we're like, okay, cool. So we're like, taking a break and hanging out and talking to people. And all of a sudden, well, I think it was for them to take a smoke break because literally everybody went out on the front porch and was just
Lit up.
Sick. Yeah. and like, yeah, we take a break. Well, all of a sudden, this dude starts like running down the aisle, right? And he's a bigger dude. And I was probably, dude, I don't even know. I was maybe 13 or 14, maybe. I might have been that old. And it was the pastor's son, and he was run down. And dude, they were like pinning him down. They were cutting his rat tail off. He had a rat tail about yay long, like actual, just old school rat tail.
Not braided. We're talking about.
No, it was braided. It was braided.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's all he had. It was buzzed and then a rat tail, like
buzzed.
Full on.
And they were like, we're getting you today.
They're like, we're done with it. And that happened in our intermission. I don't know why I remember
they
that.
held him down.
They held him down and cut it off.
What did they cut it off with?
A pocket knife.
Great story.
That's
Isn't that crazy,
that's a mountain
dude?
story right there.
That is the best gig story I think I've heard.
Dude,
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, and you feel like you're dreaming it, but maybe I did. I don't know. But
What was the guy saying? I mean, I want to visualize it in my head as much as I can.
Don't cut my rat tail, mama.
Yeah.
Was he screaming, "Don't cut my rat tail off"?
yeah, he was pissed. But
Sure,
like,
for sure. Yeah, I would be. It
it was one of those things.
takes a
where
long
you're-
time to grow a rat tail.
That's
Get you
not
guys-
Right, yeah.
That only
Bit of a
happens.
commitment.
That only happens at a mountain bluegrass show
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
No, that's- for sure. Yeah, you could tell that it'd been brewing for a while though.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like somebody didn't like the rat tail for a while.
Probably mama, or maybe
probably
daddy.
was.
I mean,
honestly, I don't know anybody that like loves a rat tail. It's like, man, hey,
especially
you know
if it's all shaved and that's the only thing you
there
hold
was
on
some
to.
rebelling going. There's some hillbilly
Yeah.
rebelling going on right there for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
So what happened after? I gotta know what happened after. Does he pop up? Does he stay for the show?
I
Does
don't
he
remember.
squill
I might have
tires?
woke up at that point. I don't know. I don't remember.
Just play the gig, man. Got out there, did what you came to do.
Yeah, I was there to play it. No, I just remember like, and I swear I need to call my dad and have him back me up on this. 'Cause I think he was there. But yeah, I just remember like that scene. You know what I mean? Like that's
unforgettable.
all I remember.
Especially as a 13-year-old.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's people ripping cigs on the front porch of the church and somebody's getting their rat tail cut off. Like,
All right, we're back from intermission.
Old rat tail religion. What I want to know is if he stayed for the show. If he was like, all right, I was sitting over there. Can I have my seat back? Or if they, what they do? Do they whip it around? They
Dude, locks
I
him up,
would've.
man.
I
man.
definitely would have spun it around.
yeah, what else would you do with it? Like, I don't know, man.
I wish
That's
you had
amazing.
I wish you still had. I wish somehow you had acquired that rat tail and built it into your guitar strap to where it was like,
Dude,
Hanging off the neck of
or
it.
the end of
Yeah,
it, like
yeah.
a free flowing.
that's not a terrible idea, actually.
Next time,
Everybody's like, "Is that a turkey beard you killed?" He's like, "No, it's a kid. I played this show." And
It's a scalp.
yeah, you want your guy kind of get scalped, hillbilly scalping.
Hillbilly
church.
scalp. That's
Oh
funny, dude.
man, where did thing that was funny. Where did songwriting start for you? Were you writing songs back then, like back when you were young, or did it come later in life?
Honestly, I didn't know a lot about the songwriting world until I got, into high school, maybe a little out of high school, honestly, because, with traditional bluegrass, you're just playing the same songs everybody else plays a different way.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you make your own version of it. And so it's fun in a lot of ways, but that was kind of the turning point for me, was when I'd been playing bluegrass for a couple years and was in that circuit heavily. I was just like, man, this is a lot of fun, but I didn't see it, really like being something I could do as a job, right? It was like a hobby for me. It was fun. But it was also like, I knew if that's where I stayed, I was going to be doing that. That would be my thing.
Yeah, a bit of a ceiling.
Yeah. And so I also knew that, I felt like I had something to say as an artist too. I didn't really know what it was, but I was like, man, I just think it'd be cool to write my own stuff. And so I got into, looking more into credits and like who's on this and, who produced this. And, I started learning a little bit that way, but that's really was a turning point for me. I like just got burnt out a little bit on the road and doing grass. And I was like, man, I'm going to try writing. And had a few buddies. Actually, my drummer now, he's a buddy of mine from back home, and we would write all the time, man. Before I moved here, I started slowly. My dad had a little woodworking shop in his shop. It was like an add-on that he put out there. He was always turning bowls and like doing woodworking stuff. And when he was still working heavily, I slowly started moving one piece out at a time of his equipment because he wasn't getting to use it. And I eventually made it a music room. And surprise. Yeah. But yeah, it was nice to just have a little spot where we could, meet up and write. And so it really, I'm thankful for those because I feel like it got a lot of bad ideas out, before I moved to town. It wasn't like, hey, I'm this and, oh, let's write about my boots today. Or, like, it's like actually, I feel like when you grow up, at least for me, I grew up listening to country radio, right? Like I listened to a lot of bluegrass, but not like I did country music. I was always listening to country or rock or something. And
who was the guy? What year was this that you?
For as far as like, where what age I was.
Yeah.
I was probably maybe my early 20s at this point. I'd been working.
Okay, what year is that?
It would have had to been like 2017, 18, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not good at math.
No, that's either.
Especially today. No, I was in my early 20s. I know that, and because I was working, had a good job, no bills, right? I was like in that spot where you're like, oh, I'm chilling, man. Yeah. I can go buy a gun if I want
life's
to.
Easy, man.
But I just, I knew, I forgot what I was talking about.
You were talking about why or who was your earlier
influences? Yeah. Sorry.
No, you good.
I really loved country music and listened to rock, and my dad was like big on 70s music, so he always had some wild band playing that he was,
Doobie Brothers.
Yeah. So it was fun. Yeah. That's cool. He, I don't know, man. It was just, I had all these different kind of genres that I liked. And when we started writing it, it really helped me kind of flush some of those ideas out and be like, okay, this is cool, but is there like a hook here? Like, cause I didn't know what a hook was.
No,
honestly, like,
how would you? Yeah.
You just, naturally you're like, okay, this is the title. So let's try to get back to that.
Yeah. Let's just say that again.
You don't know. Yeah. I didn't know like what setups and all that, you know what I mean? Sure. Like in depths on it. And so I was just trying to get it close. And it's funny looking back on some of those ideas. You're like, I went through a couple of them on one of these flights, just like digging through old stuff. And I was like, yeah, honestly, it's not a bad idea. You just missed. We were way off, but it's cool. seeing how far I've been able to, come in the last 5-6 years on the writing side. Cause I really, that was my thing. I wanted to be a songwriter when I moved here. Like, I knew I knew that if the artist thing happened, it would happen. And it might take a minute, and I was fine with that. Like I said, I was kind of burnt on the road anyway at that time. And so, it was really, really healthy, I think, for me to just be a writer for 3 years, 4 years, and just like write for other people, and didn't necessarily like help me hone in on what my sound is per se, but it helped me figure out what it wasn't, writing for other people. It was just like,
which is just as important. Truthfully.
Yeah. And I enjoyed writing. I love chasing somebody's thing with them. Right. Sure. I love doing that, but it is. I was just mindful of it. Like, you just know, like I would cut this song, but I would do it this way or whatever, it's like, you kind of figure those things out. So it's really good for me, man. I'm thankful for those years of just like really grinding, writing 5-6 days a week, doing demos. I was doing a demo last night, man. Just, I love it. I love music, man. I really do. It's still fun for me, even though it's a grind right now. And, I'm seeing that side of it. I still love doing it. So
yeah.
You've probably told this a million times, but I want our listeners to hear about your moving to Nashville experience and getting hooked up with Tully and Kurt and Jason and those cats.
I don't know this.
Go into this a little bit if you don't care.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. We
sorry for interrupting. Did you have the support of, or what, like, was the family band like, yeah, go to Nashville, or were they like, don't go to Nashville and sell your soul to the country music devil? Like,
yeah, I think I wouldn't say they were. It's just, it's funny, like. There are some people, those hometown people, that are like, oh yeah, you go on, honey.
Yeah,
you move. Well, you chase your dreams, and home will be here when you come back.
It's like, man,
the devil's paying pretty good. I'm not.
We were preachers' kids, like Southern Baptist fire from the
pulpit. We still are.
Yeah,
but still preaching.
But it was the same thing. We had one or two guys that were like, hey man, go be light in the Nashville, man. Like go do that thing. And then someone were like, I can't believe he ain't doing Christian music. Like,
y'all be singing in a trio.
Yeah, that ain't God's calling for your life.
I know. If anybody knows God's calling on your life, it's me.
It's funny. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a little bit of that, but you know what, man? I try to just keep the morals that place instilled in me. Mm-hmm. There's obviously things when you get older, you realize, like, maybe I don't agree 100% with that, but I see what they were going for.
Totally.
And
I get that.
So you voted for
yeah.
We love politics on this show.
Sure thing. Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
Look, she's like, no.
Yeah, she just had a little heart malfunction there.
We'll turkey gobble over that over that word that you're not supposed to say.
That's funny. Yeah, dude, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I don't know, man. It's so much fun for me to get to do this now and like actually make money doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this is the first year we are, but it's, it's just fun, man. It's like, it allows you to really focus on it. That was always the thing for me about the road. It's like, I would love to do that if I could solely focus on that and like solely focus on being a front man and like playing guitar and like doing that. Cause I'd be able to do my best at it, right? So that was kind of always my thing. I was like, it'll happen when it happens, but it definitely happened a lot faster. I was telling you the story.
Yes,
sorry.
Uber story. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't start making trips like really to write until about 2019 is when I started making trips down here from back home, and I would come down here and crash on my buddy Rob's couch and write for a couple weeks, and then, when I'd run out of money, I'd go home and work and, make enough money to come back and do it, for another week or so. And I did that for almost a year. And then finally in 2020, I officially moved to town.
Okay.
And yeah, it was funny because, while I was like making trips, I think it was in 2019, I was making trips down my buddy Rob was like, man, let's go out to eat. Like I had never seen Nashville. I'd never been downtown, like nothing. Right. Like, just kind of showed up. I was like, so he's like, yeah, let me show you around town. So we go out to eat or something, and we get a Uber, right? We're like Ubering downtown, and this guy picks us up. Super nice guy. You know, we're chatting, and he's, you know, telling us about how he's been in town, been a writer for a while, and you know, who he'd worked with and stuff. And so it was like, cool, man. You kind of take it with a grain of salt, and just like, yeah, that's cool. And so he dropped us off, and we parted ways. Didn't get his info, nothing, right? Like, just thanks for the ride. Well, about a year later, I had moved to town. I had a part-time job over at Opry Mills working at Lucky Brand, if you can imagine that. And I was working one day. I usually was stocking shelves, but they had me out on the floor. They were short-handed. And so I was like walking around, and I saw this guy come in, and I was like, I recognize that guy from somewhere. So I approached him, and turns out it was my Uber driver from a year earlier. And
you remembered your Uber driver from a year earlier?
Yeah, well, I can't remember.
I don't even feel like you see your Uber driver's face very much. How?
He was just a memorable guy.
Okay.
He was one of those guys.
Yep, got it.
So I don't know. And he's, I'll get to the good part, but yeah, he's just one of those guys. He's a very nice guy, like easy to talk to, friendly guy.
I think you were supposed to
Cool.
remember him. And
Yeah,
in God's
that could
plan,
be it, too.
in God's plan, it sounds like this guy is supposed to be remembered in your story.
That's a great point. That's probably exactly what it was. But yeah, we just kind of hit it off again, and he was like, "What are you doing?"
Stocking shelves at Lucky
Yeah,
Brand.
he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I got mixing demos in my bedroom and doing this, and trying to grind it out and getting better rooms." And he was like, "Man, I'd love to write." And so we set up it was a Zoom write. It was I take it back. Our first one was in person, and we actually wrote over at River House. And I was in having conversations with Zeb over there, looking to sign just a standard pub deal. And we were I was doing demos for his guys, and he was plugging me in on writes and stuff. So it was kind of one of those things. And that's about when this happened. And so, yeah, anyway, his name's John. Me and John started writing songs.
John,
and,
what's his last name?
John Edwards.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Do you know John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to write. I'm writing with him maybe next week. Yeah.
Yeah. He's great.
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, he started chatting. We started writing a few songs, and then he was like, "Hey man, I'd love to pull some guys in on this idea. We had something started." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And it ended up being Kurt and Tully. Yeah. And he'd been writing with them for 10
Talk about
years.
grinding. That cat has been grinding.
Dude,
20 years until any success at all came.
Yeah. He's he's one of those cases, man, where you're just like, I don't get it. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Memorable dude. Now that you say it too.
Yeah, he's a very memorable guy, just genuine. You know, like he's just cool, a good cat. Dude. And but yeah, we started. I think they helped us finish the song, and then we actually wrote in person after that a couple times. And then I was mowing my grass one day, and Tully texted me and was like, "Hey man, can you?" I think I had to work that evening, and so I was just kind of cleaning up around the house. He's like, "Can you like sit down and do an acoustic video of this song we wrote?" It was like the day before we finished it. And I was like, "Sure." So I sat down. I had like grass all over me. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing a video. I didn't know what he wanted it for. Sure. Sat down, played through it or whatever, sent it to him. Well, maybe an hour later, I get a phone call. And
random number.
615. So I'm like, and I usually don't answer if I don't know. I'm like, nah. But it was 615, so I answered it.
Well, now you turn down 615 numbers. Back then, if somebody hits you with a 615, you're like, no. Yeah. Is this a publishing company?
That's very true.
An artist? Or someone who knows anybody about anything?
Yeah, this turned out to be.
You're right.
615
very true.
Up.
Very true. I was answering any 615 numbers, but no, he I get a phone call, answer it, and he's like, "Hey man, that's Jason Aldean. I got your phone number from Tully, and he's like, they've been sending me some stuff you're writing, and just really dig, your vibe and what you're doing." And he's like, we started a publishing company and a record label like 2 years earlier, and he's like, we've just kind of been sitting on it, waiting for somebody to sign that we really believe in and we dig. And he's like, I'd love to chat about that with you. And I'm like, wow. I'm literally sprinting inside to find my roommate because I'm like, dude, this is a prank call, man. Like, you know, so. But I'll say this, man. I always try to say this because, there's always somebody that really, like, steps out and takes a leap of faith on you and is like, dude, oh yeah, this is my guy.
Champion,
right
man. Gotta have
that was Aldean, man. Like, wow. There's been a few. I'm not saying he's the only one, but he's the guy that, like, he wasn't just like, oh yeah, we'll sign you to a publishing deal. He was like, dude, you're a writer. I want you as a writer, and I'm gonna sign you as an artist. And that was the coolest thing to me because I was like, at the time, I was literally just singing demos, like. And people would ask me to sing demos, but I wasn't the singer in the room, right? Yeah. And I didn't care, to be honestly. I enjoyed being the producer in the room and still do, but I don't know. It was just it was kind of a moment that clicked for me where it's like, I mean, if he believes I can do it, surely I can do it, you know? Man. So it was very cool of him. I'll always, be appreciative of that for him. Just a confidence boost at a time where I probably needed it, to power through like where I was, in the grind phase of like having no holds and no, really nothing to like show for everybody back home. Hey, are you still down doing the music thing?
How's it going? Hadn't seen you around.
Well, it's going like, it's going terribly, but thank you for asking. I'm still
I'm actually depressed, having panic attacks all the time.
I think you could play my son's bar mitzvah. I heard you do covers.
Yeah. Do you know Luke Bryan? I got my kid wrote a song that's perfect.
My uncle wrote something that'd be good for George Jones. He died 10 years ago.
Sorry, we keep going.
Dude, I got that this weekend. I still get that. Those are fun.
That never goes away.
No,
it never goes away, man. It's like, and I used to really annoy me, but now it's almost fun just to see what people think might work.
Yeah, dude, I love it. Honestly, like somebody gave me a mixtape. It was a CD of, I assume, all songs that they had solo written. And dude, what I took away from it, I would never think of that. That's what I took away from it. You could put me in a black room with 4 walls and give me whatever, and I would never say that title. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not even. It's like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like what I was saying earlier. Like, the idea is not bad. It just you just
missed.
You have no idea how to deliver.
Very unique.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me how sometimes you're like, dang, that's actually not bad.
Bro, what a Nashville story.
Yeah, it's great.
Like that is.
Yeah, it is, man.
And that goes like, people ask me all the time. They're like, what do I need to do, man? Like I love writing songs, but I can't get down there enough. And what do I need to do? And the first thing I tell them, I'm like, bro, you got to move here. And maybe not because of social media now and TikTok and all that, but like, you got to be, it's almost like you have to be present to win, especially if you're trying to start off doing it.
Well, it depends on what,
get a foothold in the town,
It depends on what avenue of the business you want to work in. I feel like as a songwriter, you have to be here.
Yeah.
As an artist, you can kind of, and maybe not as a songwriter, maybe people search for that. I don't really know. But I feel like you got to be around to take the call.
Right.
You got to be around
like,
to jump in the room the one time the guy doesn't make it and your buddy's in there and he just so happens to say, I got this guy that just moved up here from Florida. You should check him out. Like you kind of,
it's almost being in a position waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah.
And when the opportunity comes, you capitalize on it.
Yeah, but that could take 6 months or that could take
1,000%.
16 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Isn't that wild, man?
Oh, it's so wild.
Yeah. I mean, you're exactly right. And again, like in the moment you're like, God, dude, when is something going to happen? Like,
Absolutely.
When is something going to break away?
Or is something ever going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, we also know those guys that have been here for 30 years and have had plenty of album cuts, or not plenty, but enough to just kind of keep them in the in the town.
Bro, John Edwards. I mean, what,
Yeah.
right? Like 20 years of.
That was I forgot to say the payoff. The coolest thing to me is that, you know, after we had these conversations with Aldean, he was like, I'd love to chat about it, whatever. Well, they signed John and I both.
Yeah, and that's
Isn't that cool, bro?
Are you
Chill bumps,
kidding
man.
me?
Yeah, man.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
That's
somebody, nobody more deserving than that. And dude, what is crazy to me? I've heard a lot of his catalog, and I'm like, how in the world
How
did this not land somewhere?
Sure.
You know, you're just like, it's wild to me. But you know, this guy persevered through 20 years of like, you know, whatever he went through, and you know, he's still one of the nicest guys in the world.
no doubt, man.
You know, he's just a great guy, and
Good
always has
songwriter.
good ideas, man.
Yeah.
Always. He's never out of. I'm like, dude, how do you keep that churning, man? Like, he's
I need some of
always
that
got
sauce.
an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love writing with John, man. We still write quite a bit. So.
that's a great story, man.
That's so cool,
Yeah.
man. Now here you are, dude, dropping your debut album. It's out everywhere now. Carolina Blue.
Songs number one.
Songs
right
number
now.
one on the radio.
awesome.
You got a
Yeah.
couple under your belt as a songwriter.
Three.
What? How?
Well, it's more than a couple.
What is that few? My bad.
They all count. They all count.
You're right. You're right. Thank you.
What? Bro, put that into words, man. Like, can you explain that? Like,
Yeah, it's hard to, man. You know, I from all the stuff I've been talking about, I just feel like you know, before I moved to Nashville, I thought for sure I'm gonna settle down right here on this mountain. I'm gonna, you know, own this 10 acres of land. I'm gonna redo this old house, and I'm gonna be here, and
Be fun.
yeah, and I might have been just as happy as I am today.
Sure.
But
good point.
you know, I just remember when I was working on that old house one day, and it just I'd been out of music for about a year, hadn't touched the guitar, and that was like I knew something was up when I was, because I always play guitar, you know.
Yeah.
That's what got me into it anyway. But I wasn't even playing guitar. I was just kind of out of it. Was burnt. Like, had some things kind of fall through where I was just like, all right, yeah, that's a old news for me. You know, I gotta move on. And I just remember like sitting on this old house, just like nailing something into the roof or something. And it just hit me, man. It was just like, I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I knew I wasn't happy. I just didn't want to admit it. You know, I was just like, I was fighting that for a minute where I was just like, something's up, man. Like, there's something missing in my life. And I wasn't really thinking about music until that moment. It just hit me, and I was like, man, it's just in me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all I've always, if somebody asked me, hey, what are you good at? Music. I mean, that was what I was best at, right? And so I think just having it out of my life, it was good because it made me realize how important it was and how much I loved it. But yeah, getting it back into, you know, into that feeling and that moment, and then now being able to, you know, see fruit come from, you know, digging in and selling that property and like dissipating that dream and letting that beautiful piece of property go, like, just to do this, like, it tells me, you know, not only one that I made the right decision, you know, but it's also, it's like you said, it's God, you know, showing me like, okay, here's the next route for you or whatever, you know, so it's very cool and rewarding in that way. It's such a grind out here, man. I wish, you know, people, I don't really care, but I doubt, I don't think a lot of people understand, you know, radio tour and like doing, you know, the
There's no
touring side
way.
of
There's no
things.
way to.
No, that's what I mean. They
Unless
shouldn't
you're
have
in
to.
it, there is
Yeah.
no way to understand how hard that stuff is.
Yeah, it's just it's the job, right? And just do it. If you want to do it, that's
what you
part
gotta
of it.
do.
Everybody's done it. Everybody has to do it. It doesn't stop. It doesn't get less. You just accept it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you can
totally.
get a little more picky and choosy, I feel like, as
Right.
it goes, but it's always a grind, man. So I try to be thankful for it because, you know, who knows? Maybe the wheels fall off tomorrow. I can still go write songs and be happy. But that's the rewarding thing for me, man, to answer your question, is just like, you know, knowing how low that feeling was before I made the decision to move here. and then getting to see this happen and like have friends here in Nashville that like are lifers, man. Like I have a great friend group, like people I met early on when I moved to town that I'm still really close with, not just writing buddies with, but like friends with, you know, and you know, getting to engulf myself into Nashville and like be a city boy for a minute, like it was great. It was a great growing point in my life, I think, in a lot of ways. But I love it, man. I love getting to do this, and I'm very thankful for this job.
Yeah, man.
For
That's
sure.
awesome. That's well said.
Yeah,
Man, it's been fun having you on. I can't believe it's been an hour.
I know.
yeah,
An hour 10. That's crazy.
What bro, Way Out Wood is my jam.
yeah.
I love Kid Myself. We were talking about that.
Yeah, Kid
earlier.
Myself is sick.
But the record's great, dude.
Thank you.
The record's great, and I think you said in an interview like you're trying to get parts of you out there to, and I can see that now sitting here talking to you for a little bit over an hour.
Yeah.
I can see where those tracks kind of intertwine throughout your life and the vibe of some of them, man. It's cool.
Yeah, thanks,
Good
man.
stuff.
I appreciate it. I'm, you know, it's always nice getting new music out. It's just like, I don't know. And especially like this project specifically, I feel like all of the artists that we're talking about have had an influence on me. They've all had a debut album, and it's probably in my top 3. You know what I mean? Not to say that it's like the best, but it's just my favorite because it's that first project, you know, like
Give me a few.
I mean, Church's Carolina is one of my favorite like
Killer
albums ever.
Yep.
Possibly, I think for our generation, one of the most influential records there is in country in the country.
For folks
I
who
wouldn't
are
disagree.
aging.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that. It's one of my favorites. I love obviously a huge Keith Whitley fan. So his was a big one for me. Trying to think of the other one. I don't know, man. I'm a big Skynyrd fan too. So all that stuff is really, really fun to me. I don't know. I guess my point was like, you know, I was beating it to death trying to put this project together because I'm like, I can nitpick something to wear it out, you know. Even writing, like I'm a slow writer most of the time, and I want every line to matter, you know, like I want it to be right. And so that's kind of how I was putting this project together. I had a lot of time to do that, and so I was just in the weeds on it, and you know, I had this whole thing. I was trying to go too far and like make it artsy fartsy, right? And I was just like, I was so zoomed in, right?
Yeah.
And I called Aldean one day, or we were talking about something, and he was like, "How's the album going?" And I was like, "It's going good." I was like, I feel like I got, you know, pretty much what I feel like I need on there. And he was like, "Don't forget, you need hits right now." And I was like, zoom out moment.
Yeah.
You know? I was like, thanks, man. I needed that because I was just so far into it, and I was like, you know, putting all these things. And honestly, it's true. At the end of the day, put your best songs out there.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Let them speak for themselves.
Yeah. And so I try not to worry about, you know, sonically, is everything. Because the cohesiveness to all my favorite records and artists is the vocal, and a lot of times the mixing engineer can, you know, that has a lot to do with it. Everybody's important. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you know, that can be cohesive enough to like tie a record together with a lot of different sounds, you know? So I don't know. It was just really fun to make, man. This, you know, I co-produced it with Brent Anderson. I don't know if you know Brent.
He's
but
killer.
So good.
Love
yeah,
that guy.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites, and
Yeah, he's a killer.
Legit guitar player too, man. That guy's.
oh yeah, dude.
I think he sandbags on that. He's legit.
Bro, Jameson told me
does.
something real funny about Brent the other day. We were talking about just like artists and musicians and in town, and he was like, it's like Brent says, man. And he's like, Jameson's like, man, how are you so good? Like, how do you get so good at guitar? And Brent was like, oh, it was probably fun for you to have friends when you were young. he was like, I didn't have it. I just played the guitar all the time.
That's
He was
so
like, what was
true.
it like having friends? You know? What was it like being cool? I don't know. I just played guitar my whole life.
That's
He's
hilarious,
crazy, man. He's awesome. Great dude.
He is. He's a nut.
Killer songwriter too.
Yeah, man.
All right, we got to do it. We got to do it.
I know.
I wish we could stay here for another 2 hours, but we all got rights.
Yeah. Who y'all writing with today?
Man, I've got Frank Ray.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was just with him last week.
Yeah.
Paul Sykes, you know him?
Oh yeah,
I
I
remember
remember
Paul today, and
over at Sony.
yes, somebody. There's another.
I'll be over there too.
Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm at his house. I'll be at his house. Parker Welling and Paul Sykes.
That'll be a good
Day.
one.
You writing? You working today?
I get another one of these today.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Who?
and then
Competition. Who?
Yeah, who is it? Are they good?
is it Outside the Line? Take it
Take
outside.
it outside. I'll take it
We'll
outside
take it
with
outside.
them.
We'll take it out. I'm
It's
just
our
kidding.
podcast. Take it
I'm just kidding,
outside.
bro. Plenty of room. We don't even know who.
I don't even know that.
Yeah, we don't listen to podcasts.
Hey man, we
Or
do
music.
We do a thing at the end. Favorite tune.
Yeah.
we talked about it earlier. If you wouldn't mind giving.
Are you
us
still
a little,
stuck on Ronnie? You want to do something else? What do you want to do?
What do you want?
Ronnie, you tell me.
Well, you guys, do you normally hop in?
I mean, we can hop in if we know the
Yeah,
tune, but
but,
it's
I
no
mean,
big deal.
bro,
There's
Do you
also-
know "Stranger in My House," Ronnie?
Stranger in my house? Yeah, man. I don't hear you play it though.
Okay.
We'll see you do it.
I don't know what key to play.
You're a
this
real
in.
life. You're a real life guitar player.
play whatever you want to, bro, or don't play anything at all.
Oh, you know this one. Oh, let's see. Where there's a cloud don't mean there's rain. Tears in my eyes don't mean there's pain. Don't flatter yourself. I'm over you.
Smooth, baby.
Things aren't always what they seem. You can't believe everything you read on my face. I'm over you. You heard I'm drinking more than I should, and I ain't been looking all that good. But someone told you I was taking it rough. But why'd they make them old stories up? And I'm over you.
John Morgan out in God's country, everybody.
Oh, damn, I sound like I've been on the road, don't I?
Bro, you sound great, man.
That's good key though. Kept it
That was
low.
a good kid, yeah.
Hey man, y'all go check out Carolina Blue. Congrats, man.
Thank you, man.
on
You're
everything,
awesome,
dude.
man.
You're-
For real.
Yeah, you're
Y'all
great.
too. I've
Yeah.
Let's
enjoyed
write
it.
one
That was
sometime.
enjoyable.
That was
Hey,
fun.
Yeah, let's
We
do
got
it.
you a little present for coming on the show, man.
Oh, man.
Takovas likes to make us look good and hook our dudes up with some
Thank you.
fresh pair of kicks for you.
Wow, dude.
There you go,
Seem
man.
pretty loyal to them Red Wings.
Get them
but,
Red
you know,
Wings. Yeah, they look like they've seen some.
They've seen
some
a few
miles.
miles, yeah.
They look pretty good.
But
though,
you can't wear these to CMAs, you know what I mean? This
Hey,
is
dude.
awesome, man.
Hey, we
Thank
appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for
Yeah.
hooking all this up.
Yeah. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
congrats on everything, man. I'm a fan.
Rainy old
thank you.
Monday morning, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
pulling for you, bro. Pulling for
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely get in a room sometime. Hopefully,
Would love to.
be fun.
Check out Carolina Blue out everywhere now. Thanks for hanging out in God's country. See you
See
next
ya.
time.